I'm down at the MARTA station at Georgia Tech where a woman has just been hit by a train. She was right over here in a restricted area where no one is ever allowed. We're trying to figure out what she was doing there. This has been a recurrent theme between Monsanto and farmers. So how do farmers get around infringing the company's seeds? Liking someone on the app is completely anonymous, unless they like you back. Then, it's a match made in Tinder heaven. Many flights have been canceled because of the storm up north, but I met one family who said they got in right before the storm hit. As you can see, we're right in front of the site where Bonnie Cooner's body was found. It was in a well right behind us in this wooded area. As you can see, the tape is up so we can't go back there, but it's only 3 miles from her home. Most of us go to the grocery store at least once a week, but have you ever been inside an Aldi? The savings you'd find here just may decrease your shopping trips. The drought is having a huge effect on our crops and flowers. Find out how the spring weather is helping them out. Well, you could say it was a little heated, but it really just seemed like a conversation between the speakers and the audience. Questions were thrown back and forth, but it was all just about House Bill 512. After Lance Dyer's son died from using synthetic marijuana, he has been fighting tirelessly to get these drugs off store shelves. Thanks, Paul. Hillsman Middle hopes to keep this program in place as long as the kids stay excited about helping their community. These signs are all over campus, but the university really relies on peer pressure to keep these rules in place. An Athens woman is alive today because her co-workers didn't hesitate in a time of crisis. Dean Sumakras said that Georgia has one of the fastest growing economies today. In this morning's meeting, the university cabinet talked a lot about some positive aspects for the spring, but also budget cuts. Well, Jordan, the sheriff in Franklin County suspected Cooner's boyfriend once they realized the extent of her disappearance. It took them almost 2 weeks to find Bonnie Cooner. What Castello emphasized was that the summer might not be too kind to these guys because of warmer temperatures and more chance of lower rainfall. But we'll just have to see. Live right outside, I'm Iris Garrett. Georgia representatives are taking a hard stance against gun control issues. That doesn't mean all sunshine. Coming up, I'll have your weekly forecast and when those famous groundhogs think winter will end. Designer bags like these usually go for $1,000. Find out how new speed bumps in Hull Street Deck are slowing down drivers. This and more on Grady News Source. There isn't a massive new Walmart coming to Athens, but there is a giant Kroger coming to town. The Kroger to be built at US 29 and Georgia 72. Responders and MARTA officials arrived after the woman apparently got access to the station's restricted section. What authorities do know is she was struck by the train, but her reasoning is still undefined.
We don't know. That's why we're conducting an investigation right now. MARTA Police Department is looking into every aspect of this and trying to, again, make sure that our customers are safe and trying to find out how she got to be on the track in the first place.
The incident here caused the station to be temporarily shut down, causing more chaos to the scene. As the investigation continues, passengers who regularly use this train station are saying they're upset. They're not able to get to their destinations.
I'm very upset.
But do you know what happened?
They said something happened on the tracks.
A woman got hit.
I don't know if she got killed or what, she fell down or whatever. It's just that it's no inconvenience for everybody else.
Officials say service will continue as soon as possible. But patrons unable to use the train can use the bus as alternate transportation. Bike Athens is having its annual Holiday Bikes for Kids where it plans to donate more than 60 refurbished bikes.
And that's a donation drive where in November and December we focus exclusively on fixing up bikes for kids so they have a really nice gift for Christmas.
With each donated bike, the child receives a helmet and a safety pamphlet so they can have a safe holiday as well. Bike Athens has been holding this program since 2001, each time striving to have more bikes turned in to be given to the kids. Its bike recycling program takes in all bikes as is.
Perfect.
If the bikes are unable to be fixed, the parts are used to rebuild other bikes. People are encouraged to bring in their previously owned bikes rather than throwing them out.
And rather than take them to the dumpster, I wanted to make sure that they still, because some of them are pretty good parts, and I wanted to make sure that they could be reused if they could be.
The people in the shop that are getting their hands dirty are not Bike Athens employees.
So everyone in here working today is a volunteer who's donating their time to help fix up bikes for kids.
The volunteers have been meeting 3 times a week just to meet their holiday deadline. Just like the people who receive the bikes, they are gaining from the experience.
I also just love bikes, so it's just a great opportunity to come down here a couple times a week and just get to learn.
The BRP also collects and refurbishes bikes throughout the year to donate to Athens residents who are homeless or in need of a bike to get to work.
Track their gender, their height and weight to make sure we can find a bike that fits them perfectly and will get them work the best for them in their situation.
Tyler also encourages people to come by and learn more about bikes.
I would highly recommend stopping by. We'll work with you on your first couple of sessions to teach you what you need to know.
Bike Athens hopes to complete their high number of bike requests for Christmas. Iris Garrett, Grady News Source. The nationwide drought improvement is having great effects on Georgia's agriculture, in particular, this spring. Severe drought has been a persistent problem for farmers and other landscapers throughout the state for many years, but this change in weather is changing the game.
The drought has been mitigated somewhat by the amount of rain that we've gotten, and every little bit will help.
Horticulture student Morgan Castelo has seen this firsthand on the plants he manages over at UGA's Trial Gardens. He says both the agriculture and horticulture industries are impacted by irrigation restrictions that droughts cause.
People are not able to irrigate their plants a sufficient amount, then we're going to see more plants in the landscape dying, and we're going to see people not as willing to install plants.
The lack of investment in, as well as irrigation on plants and crops, has a domino effect on the growth of the entire industry. The result? It suffers. But plants in the trial gardens have far from suffered. This year's rainfall increase has come during many of their dormant stage, ironically when they don't require much water. This soil at the trial garden has been well irrigated and because of it has survived the drought. But several parts of central Georgia don't have that advantage and have suffered. And if the drought continues, farmers throughout these areas will have to pump more water with irrigation systems. But if it doesn't, both residential and commercial landscapers will prosper with the continued rainfall. Iris Garrett, Grady News Source.